Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the MiscELENAeous podcast. I'm your host, Elena. And this week we have producer Madelyn. Woo, woo, woo.
Mother's back.
Mother is back. Producer Josh. Woo. Man, the gang's all here.
I know.
Feels right.
It does feel right.
You know what is something that, like, my younger self would just absolutely lose it about?
What?
The fact that this is my job.
Yeah.
Like, Elena is living her big girl dreams and her little girl dreams.
Aww.
Isn't that kind of cute?
It is.
I don't actually know if this was my dream when I was a little girl, but but it was.
Yeah.
I just I couldn't even conceptualize it at the time. But like the fact that I have a podcast and I'm full-time in studio with a full-time team of producers and editors with a full-time network support and full-time listeners. Hey, Misfits, talking to you.
Yes.
I mean, what?
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
crazy.
sick.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm feeling blessed.
It's in the vein of what I thought I would be doing, but still very different.
What did you think you would be doing?
Probably, I mean, for a while it was ballet. Like I was like, I'm just going to go and do that for the rest of my life. Then it became musical
What is
theater.
the life of a ballerina, like career-wise?
You're done by 35, if you're lucky. That's actually a little old.
I mean, retired at 35 doesn't sound bad.
No, it's not.
But then, like, can you live off your ballerina income? Is there, like, a very good retirement plan for ballerinas?
I didn't make it that far, so I have no idea.
no clue. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is like, again, like with any athlete, your body can only take so much.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of one of those things. So it wouldn't have been a long thing, but you probably go to like teaching, or maybe if you had went to college at some point, maybe you had like a backup sort of thing. But
Yeah.
I thought I was doing that, and then it was musical theater, and I was like, going to Broadway, going to New York, blah, blah, blah. And then it turned into like film, like wanting to do a lot of film, which that's still kind of out there, but
It could happen.
yeah. But
We can make a movie one day.
honestly, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I think you need a TV show.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I do, too. But
Yeah. You've
I
been
just
on
think
TV?
like nobody else normally agrees with that.
Yeah, no, I think it would be fun. I don't know what the premise would be.
See, me either. And I know I don't know that I can act, but I know I can be myself. And I
Yeah.
think that that's still a great character. You know?
You know, you need a talk show. You need like to kick Kelly Clarkson out of there. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm well on my way. Look at me now, guys. Yeah. It's just look where I started with a little Zoom microphone, you know, carting it around, interviewing people in an apartment bedroom covered in cat hair. And then now I'm in studio. So like, what's next?
Yeah.
Probably
a TV show.
Probably a TV show, probably on, you know, network television, probably in like a primetime spot, you know, probably.
Yeah.
So, producer Josh, what did you think you were going to do when you grew up?
I thought when I was younger, I thought I was going to be a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So I thought I was just going to be a dinosaur for the rest of my life.
Pretty sick, dude.
Which
That's a cool plan.
Also has the retirement age at 35. Wild.
I was about to ask how the retirement was for that as well.
It's surprisingly similar to ballerinas.
That tracks. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's great.
My family owns a company, my mom's side of the family. And it's my mom and her two older brothers. And I'm the youngest of all the cousins. So of the, you know, direct descendants of the owners now. My grandfather started it. And I thought that I was going to run and own and operate that company. And I don't really know why, because again, like it would be I think like the hierarchy of a family passing something down. It's like the oldest brother had two boys. The next brother had two girls, and then my mom had me. So like I would be last in line to get this company. But then as it turns out, that's where I worked right out of college. And it just kind of worked out that way. I accidentally graduated early. The lady that did my job quit. My mom was like, help. So, but I really was the only one that like expressed any interest. But then I like felt so bad after working there for a couple years. I'm like, I hate this.
Yeah.
This shit sucks. But at the time, you know, you're just so conditioned by like society's plan for your life. And I grew up in this like, you know, really like sheltered Christian school environment where people go off and get husbands in college, and then you go home and you get married and you get a 9 to 5 and then you make babies and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Same.
Yeah.
So along the lines of my younger self would lose it, my younger self would absolutely lose it if she was aware that I would be 33, unwed, no kids, like that, because that's not the plan.
Oh,
that's not the plan.
Yeah.
Unwed, no babies, and you don't have a 9 to 5, you just have a podcast.
Yeah.
She would lose it. My younger self would lose it because that's not the plan. That's not the plan.
Babies.
No babies?
No
You're
babies.
30. Does your baby maker even work still? I don't know. Younger self? I don't know.
Does your baby maker even work still?
Does it work?
That's so funny.
I don't know, younger Elena. Unclear.
I think me and Josh talked about this at one point. I think there was definitely a time where like I was very okay with not being married. I was really set to be like the really cool aunt of everybody. I'm like, I'll bring your kids gifts from far off places. And I had that whole thing. And then now I'm like, oh, I found the guy I'm going to marry. So that's pretty,
it changes things.
Big, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so.
I'm personally like, maybe I could actually marry you and have kids. Like that kind of, maybe.
See, this is weird. I'm still on track to become a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I don't know what's gonna happen.
What do you have, like 5 more years?
5 more years,
Nice.
It's a weird certification process. So
Clearly. I mean, but good for you.
Yeah.
I'm glad one of us is still on our original path.
Yeah.
Because I'm nowhere near it.
Yeah, I don't know what y'all are doing. I'm retiring by 35.
I don't know. I'm still kind of hoping I can retire by 35 too. So we have 2 years to make this shit blow up, guys.
Can go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And when I say guys, I'm talking to obviously both producers and then everyone listening. Please.
Yeah.
I'm trying to retire. No, I could never stop talking.
Well, I think they're not to get dark, but I think, if you're, again, retirement is like a lucky thing. There's some people who never retire, but it's also good to just keep moving, keep your brain going, keep doing something, because I think that's like the silent killer of it all. Of just not.
I know.
Continuing on.
I don't want to feel like I don't have a purpose.
Right.
And for whatever reason right now, and you can judge me all you want, but making dick jokes on this podcast feels purposeful to me. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So let me live my dreams.
Yeah.
Okay, is there anything that y'all's younger self would lose it about that's happening in your current reality personally or just like in the world?
I have a lot of world ones and then some personal
ones.
Yeah.
Okay, because I feel like let's just get into it,
Yeah. Okay. You want to go first?
Sure.
Please.
I feel like I've kind of already mentioned a couple things that will align with these couple that I will say now. But like if my younger self knew, and I'm just like imagining, and it's so specific. It's so specific. Being in 4th grade and driving, well, I wasn't driving. My mom would drive us to school every morning and we listened to the Kid Craddock morning show. And there's right here on this highway where we would always have to exit from my school, there was this big billboard of the Kid Craddock cast. And so it was Kid and Kelly and Big Al, and this was when I was in 4th grade. So I don't even know who the other person or persons were. Like maybe JC was already there. I don't know, but I can see Kid and Kelly and Big Al like in my head. I can see Kelly so clearly on this billboard, and we would listen every morning, and I would see the billboard. I would think that's so cool, there they are.
Yeah.
And so to just even like the little things, like Kid following me on Twitter, which my younger self's like, what's a Twitter?
Yeah.
Sounds cool, man, but what's that?
Yeah. Is that Tumblr?
Exactly. You mean MySpace?
Yeah. It's like, what?
No, I guess I probably wouldn't have even known what MySpace was at the time. But yeah, Kid knowing who I was at all, my younger self would lose it. And then knowing that at one point I was on the Kid Craddock morning show, short-lived and probably didn't, manifest like a ton of fans along the way on that journey. But like, who cares? I was on the Kid Craddock morning show. Take it away from me. You can't. It happened. It already happened. So my younger self would lose it.
Yeah.
Just lose it. And I think like the stages of my younger self too, like little elementary school Elena, lose it, but like I think about me being in college and like fully going after another degree, like thinking I have this like, you know, you're more secure-ish in like what the plans of the world and your family and yourself have like set for you. So to think that I was like going to marry this certain guy and like have this certain job and live this certain life, and to be thrown the curveball of you're actually going to be on the Kid Craddock morning show, like that's going to be the start of your real career.
Yeah.
What? Lose it. I would lose it.
Yeah, 180.
I would lose it. I can't, like, I try to imagine myself imagining that, and I'm losing it right now, and it already happened to me.
Yeah.
So cool.
That is cool.
Coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I remember the first time meeting you, and you were kind of telling me like, hey, this is my story, I was on this TV show, I was on Kid, this is how it happened, I called in and all, and I was just like, that's really, really cool.
Yeah, and that doesn't really happen to people in this industry that I've ever really heard of. You know, you apply for jobs, you work the, you know, terrible night shift in the market 400 and work your way up, where you get internships, you work for free, you know, like to get the opportunity that I was like, feel like not, I don't want to say just handed to me, because like I had to be at least a little bit funny.
Yeah.
It's just still so crazy to think about.
Yeah. I tried calling into Radio Disney one time and they actually picked up, but it was this weird thing where I couldn't hear them, but like on my radio, like I could hear it was just like, okay, we have a caller. And then it was me. And I was like, hello? Hello? And so I'm literally just for like 30 seconds, like, hello, it's me. And they're like, okay, we're going to the next caller. I was like, no. It was bad.
That's funny. I think they have more screening processes now for, hey, so when you get on the air, that was half my job at Kid Craddock, is like coach people how to be on the air.
Yeah.
Like when I wasn't on the air.
Just chill out. Don't say anything crazy.
Yeah. I'm like, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to say.
Yeah.
Okay, this is how it's going to go. Follow my rules or you're going to make me look bad, and we can't have that.
That's fun.
I like this job. But yeah, would lose it. Would lose it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. Mine's I'll start out with this one. It's a little interesting. So when I was younger, film and TV shows had me conditioned to think that like adult women always wear matching lingerie every day. Every day. That was a thing. It was like
Are you telling me they don't?
Yeah, I know. Surprise. So that was wild to me. Like now, like knowing, because like in Devil Wears Prada, that whole opening scene is like these girls like putting on like really nice, like waking up, having this morning routine. And like if you saw someone like it was just always like matching.
Yeah.
And so when
it is.
Yeah. And so when I was like, when I'm older, I'm going to have like 50 pairs of matching lingerie and I'm going to be awesome and I'm going to have my shit together. And that has not happened. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To your point, something I was going to mention literally is that like my younger self would lose it if she knew that like being my older self is the same as being my younger self. She would lose it. She would be like, nah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure when you hit 30, everything changes.
Yeah.
You're able to cook. You're able to clean. You're able to make your own doctor's appointments. You have a morning routine. You love working out. You know, you love vegetables. Everything changes.
Yeah.
No, I'm still 12. I eat like a 12-year-old. I throw fits like a 12-year-old. I drive like a 12-year-old. Like everything, 12.
Yeah. We're all stuck at 12.
Yeah.
Nice.
My younger self would lose it if she knew that adults were not really adults. They're just bigger. They're just bigger and older.
Oh, for sure.
Like nothing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it does in some people. Maybe it does in some people. I feel like I know a couple people that I'm like, how do you have your shit together like this? Like, what's going on? And maybe I think what it is that they just always been like that.
Yeah, I think it's circumstantial.
I
think it's that.
Yeah, like life forced them into having to know how to do these things or do the like. I mean, I was around people younger than me the other day, and they're having conversations about things that I'm like, I don't know what those words mean. Oh. Like I don't know how you know what you're talking about.
I do feel I I always, like, when I was younger, I was like, oh, all these, like, older people are like, I wanted back in my day. I feel like that now. I feel like it's like when I see kids going, like, doing weird TikTok dances, I'm like, that's cool. I'm happy for you. But, man, I just cannot. I'm not there. Mentally, I'm just not there.
Do you ever imagine what, if like, the timelines were kind of shifted and a lot of this social media stuff was rolling out at the time we were younger? Have you ever imagined like how you feel like you would fit into that culture? Like, I'm like, I wonder if I would be that girl. And I think I would, which is why I've had these thoughts that I would be like trying to get all cute in like my Hollister. I mean, I'm still making it a early 2000s vibe. Mm-hmm. But like, you know, my Hollister like shorty low rise shorts and like pull my thong up in the back and like have my like self tan sticker in a heart on my hip. Amazing. And like, you know, my double Hollister out, you know, cami and long sleeve tight and be doing the fucking TikTok dances with the tripod in my like upstairs. Like,
come with me to Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah.
I can't breathe in here.
Let me do a Hollister try on haul. Like, would I be that person, or would I be like, what would I be? How would I fit into that culture?
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it was a little, I don't know. That's a really amazing thought process and question. I think when I think about like early YouTube, when that first, I feel like it would have been that chaotic. I feel like it would have been just kind of, I feel like if we had TikTok and like the energy of Vine, I feel like that is kind of where we all fit a little bit, is like that. When Vine started, it was like, oh, this is interesting.
I did love me some Vine.
Yeah.
I did it for the Vine, y'all.
Did you Vine?
Oh, I Vined.
Yeah.
And I did it for the Vine.
I love that.
I also Vined.
Yeah.
It was,
nice.
Wow. Yeah. I actually got followed by not KSI. I got like liked a couple posts by like someone huge, and I was like, I fucking made it.
You made it. Yeah, your younger self would lose it.
No, like he had like 4 million followers on Vine, and I was just like, oh my God, this is it. This is the moment.
That's awesome.
Man, sometimes I forget about Vine and like all the Vine stars that like popped up, and some of them like transitioned really well over to like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and still make a living, and then some people were just like a Vine star and like that's what they got. They got their 15 minutes of internet fame.
Yeah.
Man, what a time.
Well, it's interesting because TikTok started as like Musically, which everyone made fun of that app.
So much fun of it. It was like everybody's like Kelly Raspberry's daughter. Like I would be up in the studio and she'd be in the back like doing Musically, and I'm like, this stupid app.
Yeah, this won't last.
Yeah.
And then
for children.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I don't know what I would have really done. I feel like I probably would have tried like the comedy route, like character, because that's what I do anyways. I feel like I would have done more just like making up characters and doing little skits. I feel like that's probably where
She a Smosh kid.
I am a Smosh. Oh my gosh.
I don't even know what that means.
Oh. You don't know Smosh? Yeah, I am Smosh. Smosh,
What's
if you're
Smosh?
listening. So they were one of the like original OG like YouTube duo. So it's Ian and Anthony. Love them. Again, like I'm just like professing my love. Where's Anthony? Apparently he hates that. So Anthony, I'm sorry I didn't say that.
Sorry, Anthony.
But so they started a channel, did really fun, kind of stupid skits over the years, and then their company kind of grew bigger. They've done like movies and all different sort of stuff, and then now they have like, they bought back their company recently. That was like kind of the biggest thing, but they have like a whole group of like really talented performers, and they do skits and like try not to laughs, and they'll do board games and all that. So I'm just like, I am a Smosh.
That's fun
groupie.
though.
No
Yeah.
I like that. I feel like I would enjoy some of that.
Yeah.
Some smoshing.
Yeah. We should contact them.
Yeah.
Get you on a Try Not to Laugh. And I'll fly with you just so I can meet everyone.
So she can live vicariously through you.
Yeah, it's selfishly motivated. I'm
That's
sorry.
fine. I'll make that sacrifice for you.
I would love to get you with Cody Ko though. That's like one of my dream things for your show.
Oh my gosh.
I would love to get her with Cody. I feel
Manifesting
like
it.
Manifesting.
Cody Ko would be a good one.
Cody Ko.
Cody Ko, please.
If you're out there, Noelle
Come
Miller,
on the podcast.
If you're out there, podcast.
Thank you.
Anyway,
if anybody, any misfits have any connects, link us up.
Yep.
Okay, so back to some my younger self would lose it, guys.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I feel like, again, it's basically been implied or mentioned, but like that I would be a washed up reality TV star at any point. My younger self would lose it. Just lose it. Because, again, not part of the plan. And then also just like, whoa, what a real shift there.
Yeah.
Like, not just,
Never saw it coming.
Never saw it coming. So my younger self would definitely lose it. But like what came from that's another thing that I think my younger self would lose it even more. Not me being on like a big network television show for a moment, but I was a Backstreet Boys fan when I was a kid. There was very few things that would get me real excited, but I had all the VHSs. I would watch the like behind the scenes, the how to make the music video, like all of it. And it was a real NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys situation back in my day.
Yes.
And so this is a little bit like threefold, but after working at Kid Craddock for a while, and obviously I was on air some, I got to do interviews at different events and concerts, and guests would come into the studio, the Jingle Ball concerts every year, which is just like a big collab concert of like 5, 6, 7 different musical guests that are like pretty huge. And it happens all around the country. So we have one in Dallas, and it was, I want to say it's like normally in November, end of November, beginning of December. And it was the last few months of me working at the show. I left in May of the next year, but I got to interview backstage for the Jingle Ball, and I've interviewed several different celebrities, tons of different artists, whatever, and it's still so cool. I'm like not downplaying it. It's exciting every time.
Mm-hmm.
But the Backstreet Boys were playing at that year's Jingle Ball, and I got to interview, and that's a big grab.
That's
to even now, like even though they're not super relevant now, it's like who especially the listener base of Kid Craddock, like that's people that grew up listening to the Backstreet Boys. Their music still slaps, and so I'm just this one-off on-air personality on Kid Craddock. But like I talked my way into getting to interview the Backstreet Boys with Kelly Raspberry, and Kelly is also a huge fan. I forget which one she's like always was obsessed with. But anyway, I got to do that, and I was like, man, cool. My life is made. I have photos with these guys. I got to talk with them. Like I got to interview them. I have the video footage. Like there's proof. No one can deny it. Like that happened to me. So cool. Then I leave Kid Craddock and I go on Big Brother, right? And I have told these stories before, I think, here and there. I don't even know if it was ever on my podcast, but definitely this part I have. So I'm get evicted from Big Brother. Tough break.
Mm-hmm.
Tough break, guys, in a double eviction. Just didn't see it coming. Again, didn't see it coming. And I'm on live television, like being interviewed by Julie Chen, and all I can think as I'm looking out into the crowd is that AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys? Is it? She's like asking me game questions, asking me about my showmans. We're on CBS like 7 p.m. live. And I'm like, AJ? Is that you? It was him. And that wasn't confirmed for me until I made it to finale night of Big Brother. And I'm up on stage, live television once again. And I'm like, that's AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys. And at our finale party, we wrap up, we do backyard interviews, and we go into this like other warehouse lot thing where all the producers and the camera people and the audio people and everybody that works on the show, and then maybe some guests from the audience that have the access come, and I get to have like 2 beers in a row. Woo!
Crazy.
I was hammered. And AJ fucking McLean comes up to me and is like, hey, can I get a picture with you? I'm a huge fan.
Get out of here.
Wow.
It gets better. So I'm like, yeah, but can I also get a picture with you? Because I'm a huge fan. And I, do my whole little anecdote about how I got to interview them at Jingle Ball and blah, blah, blah. And he like probably pretends that he remembered. He's like, yeah, totally you. And then he's like, you remind me of my wife a little bit. And I'm like, yeah, your wife sounds hot. Like just figuring out a way to compliment myself in that moment, like not social etiquette in any way whatsoever.
I feel like that's a weird compliment, but that's for another.
Yeah,
I don't
know if he
your
means
story.
like, I never got to it because that was just like my quick with like what I said, but I'm like, maybe it was like my mannerisms or my humor from the show, or like maybe she looks like me. Like, I don't know. It could have been my laugh, but I'm just like, oh, your wife's hot then. Like,
yeah.
No, Elena.
That's a great response.
Don't say that though. Like, no, but I did. So then he's like, we're just chatting for a little bit, and he's like, here, why don't you, like, I'll get your number, and maybe you guys can come out to a concert sometime. Because at the time they were doing their Vegas residency. And so he's like, yeah, if you just get the flights, like, well, we can get you tickets. And I'm like, okay. And he gives me his number. And I was with Mark at the time, so they also exchange information. It wasn't like anything weird. And I'm thinking, I'm not actually going to text this guy. Like, I mean, he invited, but he'd probably had some beers. He was in the moment. He was just being nice. Like, I'm not going to text him. Like, and he reaches out to me. He's like, hey, we've got some shows in November if you guys want to come out. Like, do you want to come out?
That's
And I'm
so
like,
fun.
yeah. So we book flights. We get a hotel in Vegas, and he gets us backstage before the show. So the guys are just like hanging out, having a drink, eating some snacks. Like, there's some other people around, and we're just chilling back there. We get pictures, whatever. And then he gets us this table that's like right in the front. It's kind of like a bottle service-esque table. I want to say we also had bottle service. View is great. It's amazing. And they get to Shape of My Heart and AJ starts walking down the like center stage and comes up to my table and pulls me up onto the stage where they all serenade me and all like get down on their knee and give me a rose.
Oh my God.
The Backstreet Boys!
That is sick. That's so awesome.
My younger self would fucking
Oh, yeah.
lose it. My current 33-year-old self that this already has happened to and I've had years to process it, losing it. I am losing it.
Yeah.
What? Like, what?
That's awesome.
Like, I can't be more clear about this when I say, like, I have gotten to do some really fucking cool things and meet some really cool people, and I keep my cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm supposed to be here. Sure, totally. I'm not. It's always awesome, but, like, nothing would ever get me, like, hype where I'm like, oh, my God, what the fuck? I remember the first time that Nick Carter called in onto Kid Craddock and just did a thing. I made the associate producer sit there and film me while I like took his call and like phone screened him for on air. Like, okay, here's the rules, blah, 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 like literally just a 30-second conversation. It's still on my phone. Like, I will lose my shit maybe that is manifesting before I even knew how to manifest.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's all I wanted in my life, and it's what happened.
That's awesome.
It's good.
That's good.
It's good.
That's a great story.
My younger self losing it.
Yeah.
She would lose
an
it.
Incredible story.
Yeah.
So good.
Well, it also,
So-
it's kind of,
What?
I was thinking in my head, it was just like, so he gave me his number, all this different, he got on one knee at the thing. I was like, he said you reminded him of his wife because you are his wife.
Plot twist, guys, I'm married to AJ McLean.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom.
That's funny.
I wish.
That's super cool.
I don't actually wish, but my younger self would lose it. It would be great for this episode. But yeah, that's probably by far one of the cooler things that's ever happened to me. And I lost it. I mean, I had to keep my cool, but I was losing it, like, at the same time. So cool.
So fun.
I know. What else y'all got?
Did you have anything, Josh? Or?
You have any, my younger selves would lose
I'm
it?
trying to think because I'm like, I mean, no joke, working for, in some capacity with the Kid Craddock in the Morning Show is like, I'm right there with you where it's like,
It's huge.
I woke up every single day, went to school, and that was playing on the radio.
Yeah.
Every day. I knew every single person. I was obsessed with them. I thought I loved them. They were so cool, so funny.
Because it's all true.
And my first day walking in, getting coffee, and then Kelly's just like standing behind me. And she's like, oh, hi, I've never met you before. And I'm just like sitting there. I'm like, you have no idea how hard I'm freaking out right now.
Is she not the coolest person in the world?
So
the
nice.
coolest person in the world.
She is so nice.
I would die for her.
I think anyone would. I think people have.
Die for her. I would lose my life for Kelly Raspberry. She is everything.
See, but I was growing up, I was a hardcore JC stan.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when JC was brought on for I remember the first show. I remember everything with JC. And like meeting him, he turns out to be great too.
Oh, he's so great.
Yeah, it's been so crazy to even work next to those guys.
Yeah,
so,
icons, legends.
Yeah, that's definitely like one of the things that is just my younger self would not be able to comprehend that.
Yeah,
that's super cool.
Even at kids, the party that we had. I mean, it's been several months now, but for I want to say it was the 10-year anniversary of his passing, like being included in that even years past, like me working for the show completely. And then there was, again, it's a little thing, but my younger self would lose it. Like Kelly was up on stage and they were doing a big group photo of everyone that like personally knew Kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I like sitting there like cool moment. So I'm like filming it. Like these are all the people that like actually personally. And she was like, sorry, God, I know there's been a lot of great people, whatever. But like if you worked with Kid, like come up in for this photo. And so I'm like panning around and I had gotten to the party late because I had another event like right before it. So I hadn't even had a chance to like greet everyone yet. And she saw me in the crowd and she goes, Elena, get up here. She was like, I know that you never met Kid personally, but he loved you. And like you got that job on the show because of him. Like, and I was like
so
single, like handedly, like pull. And I'm like, why? Like, I do not deserve this. And there were people that like probably did know, like personally work for Kid and know Kid that weren't even able to be there or weren't included or something. And for me to be like included in that and included in that moment and Kelly bringing me into it, it's like, I'll literally never forget that. Yeah. My younger self would lose it. It just like, it was like a tiny little moment and it meant the world to me. And honestly, like if I could have met Kid in real life and that would really top all of my younger self would lose it moments, probably even over the Backstreet Boys, because like hero.
Yeah. Well, it's really cool. It speaks to the heart of everyone, or that he brought into the fold and who he was. And but yeah, that's super cool.
I know. I mean, I don't think I would have anything in the life, this life that I live now, if it wasn't for Kid, like a decade ago. Like nothing would have come to fruition if it wasn't for that man. And I never even met him. He never even met me in person. We never even like personally spoke. It was literally just Twitter messages here and there. And to him, it was probably just some other girl and some little random thing, but he like genuinely changed my life.
It's wild.
It is.
That's really cool.
It is. It's
Life
so wild.
is a fun, crazy, beautiful thing.
It is. It really is. It's crazy to like think back to 10 years ago when I'm just like freaking out about him following me and like to here I am now. And because he followed me. Yeah. So crazy what can come. Yeah. Speaking of my younger self would lose it and people being in the DMs, I've got one final personal one that I feel like is notable.
Ooh.
And I'm nervous to share it fully, but what I will say is arguably the greatest rapper alive.
Oh shit, we're going here?
Yeah, we're going. Yeah, I was like,
oh my God.
As a producer, I was like,
has slid into my DMs.
This is a huge reveal.
This is a huge reveal.
Not just slid into your DMs recently either.
No.
No, it's been some years, but we've stayed in touch off and on.
Oh my fucking God,
but
I can't believe we're saying it.
My younger self would lose it.
My younger self would lose it for you, too.
No, my adult self, when I heard that, lost it. I was like, are you kidding me?
My adult self continues to lose it. Yeah. I mean, it's just, wow.
Yeah.
Man. And then anytime I'm having a bad day, I'm just like, you remember that one time? You're good. You're going to be fine.
You're doing great.
You remember that rapper? Send you a DM to make you happy. Really bad. I'm usually a better lyricist, but it's okay.
No, but if the fact that it was something I could jump in on was great.
Okay.
You see, you were just helping.
Taylor Swift, come at me.
Yeah.
You were just playing to my capabilities there.
Yeah, I'm here for the people.
Yeah. So anyway, that's something that my younger self would lose it about. My older self, my future self, gonna still lose it. My current self, losing it as we speak, losing it. So there's no way people don't know who it is. Like, you might not know who it is, but like, you know who it is. Like, you know who it is.
We're not going to say the name.
Well, I'm not going to say the name, but you know who it is. You know them.
who it is.
You know them.
You know
okay,
them.
wait.
You know them.
Really quick, Elena, I have one more that I think you maybe could think. My younger self would freak out that I have tattoos now.
Ooh,
My
yeah.
younger self, that I have tattoos. I think my younger self would not be able to comprehend that.
You know, just on that same kind of circuit that we're at, my younger self would absolutely lose it knowing that, one, that I ever had premarital sex.
Oh, yeah, same. That's another good one.
And that I, consistently like consume marijuana, the devil's lettuce, and that I have tattoos.
Yeah.
And probably that my nipples are pierced. I'm really throwing my younger self some curveballs with this life I'm living.
You didn't know what you were going to get.
Elena, remember when we were thinking about going to college and that guy named Brian and he was going to give us 6 babies? Why are my nipples pierced?
I'm sorry, babe. I really threw you off. But
What's this marijuana?
just have a little. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
You'll forget
It's
about all
calming.
these worries.
Yes. Yeah, the rest of mine are just weird, so we probably should end it on.
You have to. Okay, well, if you say that, you have to give us
you
at
have
least
to,
one.
You have to give us one
You
weird
have to
one.
give
No,
us one
I'll just list them and
Okay.
then we won't explain.
hard close to the show.
Yeah, hard close to the show.
Okay, interesting. Hit us.
Okay, so the fact that Angelina and Brad Pitt divorced, my 12-year-old self could. I
that's tough.
never
That's
imagined.
interesting. I'd never thought about that.
Well,
yeah.
the thing is like, I know too much information about things that in life truly really don't matter. I just like having information because I'm nosy.
That's fair.
So when I saw, like, when I was younger, I was just like, Angelina and Brad, they're like these 2 people who are, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, they're
They're
adopted.
perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So that was hard. Not being a ballerina, my 12-year-old self would have been like, what have you done?
You monster.
You monster. It's just like, what? The thousands of dollars your parents spent? Yoicks. Being a Disney Channel star, that was a big one for me. I really thought I was going to do that.
It's crossed the mind of every kid in
Yeah.
our generation.
I personally thought I was going to be on Degrassi, but
Nice. Same thing.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
I was
basically the same.
certain.
But now
I just was
knowing-
certain.
Yeah, now knowing all of the horrible seedy things, I'm glad God protected me on that one. Everything happening with JoJo Siwa, my brain is completely.
I don't really still know who she is.
She doesn't know. Love her.
Yeah.
She's been a lot of different versions of herself
She
in extreme
is-
ways, very
Yeah.
publicly.
She is the antithesis, or no, I guess she's just literally the definition of like an AI generated
She
like,
is.
content creator.
And I feel for her. I really do. I know she'd be like,
she's trying to figure it out.
I'm fine. It's fine. Sorry.
Babe, it's not fine, but it's fine.
Yeah.
And it will be fine.
I really do wish she's doing her thing. She has made more money than I could probably.
Right.
It's
Not knowing who she is
She
and
just needs a wardrobe.
going-
Help.
she could not be more successful.
She couldn't.
So she's doing something right.
Yeah.
a guest star on my podcast. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, okay. I almost broke myself with that one. We're gonna keep going. Suck in the tear.
Wipe up the tears.
Yeah. No more blockbusters. That one wrecked me.
Right.
Wrecked
Whoa.
me. Wrecked
so
me.
Good
right.
one.
You're
That
so
is
right.
hard to chew.
Yeah.
I
God.
was just visiting San Angelo recently where I went to college and I haven't been there in a decade. And I remember like the Blockbuster starting to close or like San Angelo is a small town. So like at the beginning of my freshman year, there was still a Blockbuster. Like we still went to Blockbuster, but we were driving through this area where it's still there. It's just, but it's closed, but it's
Yeah.
just
That's
like still
heartbreaking.
has like, and I'm like, weird. And all those memories, like all the Blockbuster memories like flooded back. And it really took me somewhere. That's a good one. My younger self would lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the fact that certain Whoa. Sorry.
Reset.
Reset, yeah. The next one is the fact that some childhood toys during our time are very popular still. So like Bratz.
Yeah.
Trending upwards.
My Little Pony had a TV show.
Yeah, Bratz is getting a movie.
Monster High.
Yeah.
I'm like, I really thought these would like fall off because my mom had toys that no one, you know what I'm saying? I'm like
especially when you
generationally.
have like a Bratz moment in comparison to a Barbie moment, which was like such a classic thing that like even I feel like kids don't even play with Barbies. I actually don't know anything about kids.
I don't either.
Do they? What are they? What are they up
Are
to?
They play with an iPad.
Are y'all fine?
They're all
yeah,
iPad
exactly.
kids.
Like I feel like everybody just has like one of those big purple hunky iPads that you could run over with a car and it still survives because that's how destructive little tiny children are.
Yeah.
Blows my mind.
Yeah.
But regardless of like young children still not playing with Barbies, it's like what a classic. Like, and if you think doll, you think Barbie, but Bratz, no.
Well, also
Still alive and well.
I was at Target the other day and I was walking through the kids section and I was like, dang, these toys are cool. If I had had these when I was younger, I was like, man, we would have been playing up a storm, but like the shelves are like really stocked.
I don't know about you.
Yeah, the kids don't play with toys anymore because they just want to play on their iPad.
What about you, Velociraptor?
I'm still playing with Pokemon cards. So.
I'm still playing on my Nintendo Switch.
There you
know
go,
what I'm saying?
I mean, I would probably still play like my Sonic the Hedgehog video game if
Oh my God, Sonic is
Yes.
huge
I
right
didn't.
now.
Very huge.
Jesus.
ruin it.
Just came out with a mini series of Knuckles.
Yeah, which
Wow.
is weird. That
Weird.
Knuckles.
Again, Sonic still like you would think
Killing
if anything's gonna like last long, it's gonna be like Mario. You
Yeah.
know? But like here we go, Sonic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sonic's killing it. I just thought of one too. I'm gonna throw it in
Yeah.
there. Kobe Bryant dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That broke
My
my
mind
heart.
would. Kobe Bryant dying at like what 38, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like my mind would not be able to wrap my head around.
No.
Yeah.
And in the
Way,
matter
yeah.
in
Yeah.
which it
Yeah.
happened is
it's super
also,
dark, but it's also just like something that comes to mind. I don't think I'd be able to.
my
No.
younger self would also lose it if I had any sort of future preview of what was going on with Britney Spears' current day.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, Britney
Like
Spears,
from me being like
Amanda Bynes.
Amanda Bynes is huge.
I
That
actually
one-
almost wore a Britney Spears shirt today. That would have been probably well timed.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was also pretty, I mean, nothing beat the Backstreet Boys for me, but like Britney Spears, yeah,
Britney Spears might be the biggest celebrity of all time, like peak wise,
Yeah.
ever. Like her peak, there. I mean, there's still that documentary where there were photographers getting paid like $50,000 a picture for Britney out.
that's wild.
That's wild.
Man, I wonder what age photographers can retire.
There's like a 90-year-old.
It's the same as
Same as the-
ballerinas and Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Dinosaurs,
It's
35.
35.
35.
Well, I hope it's the same. I hope washed up reality TV stars also retire at 35. I'll let y'all know though.
We got to blow up.
But yeah, the Britney Spears current reality, wild. Amanda Bynes, wild.
Wild.
That doesn't get as much focus as Britney, obviously, but she has face tats now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's something.
Yeah.
From Bring Out the Dancing Lobsters to face tats, that was her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
She's been through a lot though.
She's
has
been
been through
through
a lot.
it.
She's been through a
Yeah.
lot.
It's a good thing we waited to find fame later in lives,
Yeah.
folks, because that childhood fame will really fuck you up.
Yeah, I really am. Like when you're younger, you're like, of course I want to do this. Like they had a bunch of stuff back in the day, but now just like being older, I'm like, I'm very happy that I didn't go down that path as a child actor. I think that's a really, really hard one.
I mean, looking at all the child actors, it's almost suspicious how squeaky clean Zendaya is. Like she is like thriving and well, but she was very much a child actor during
Yeah,
that
that's
time.
true. I
You know-
forget that she was in that circuit.
I think from what I've kind of gathered and heard, I think it's either her mom or her dad is her manager or had been at some point. And I think like she was very much, and again, I could be completely wrong, but I think she was very much in charge of a lot of the things that she did, if that makes sense. Like I think her parents, so I think for her whole, like they were very particular about projects and different things.
Yeah,
But
making
also-
sure she wanted to be a part of it and she
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
some say.
Right. Yeah. But I think like other people like Jeanette McCurdy, her mom, I mean,
Yeah.
that whole thing, I mean, her mom was forcing her to do it.
Crazy stuff.
Spending their kids' money
Yeah. I think
like on like I feel like that's the just forcing your kid to be like And those are like laborious days. You're like on set. Like I'm not even like an actor. I don't have a skill set, but like I've had to be on different sets for various different things. It's like, it's long. It's miserable. It's hurry up and wait. It's like you stand, you're not fed well. Like, and I'm sure they have better treatment than like the situations I've been in, but like I mean, the show is always first and you're just a piece of that puzzle. And like, you'll work for like 12, 15, 16 hours shooting stuff. Yeah. And then your mom's just out like getting, you know, facelifts and boob jobs with your money that you think is going into your account.
Yeah.
But you're 12, so you have no idea what an account is. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's a very interesting thing. But even like, you know, back in the day too, like Drew Barrymore, I mean, her whole younger self struggled with, I mean, she was drinking at, I think like 11, like going out to bars and stuff, just because her family just didn't really care. So I think a lot of it comes down to parents not protecting their children.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then also large corporations just hiring people. Like, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, but it's nasty out there. So good on us for just not being child actors.
Yeah.
Good on our parents. Yeah, that's really what it was. Well, guys, what an adventure. Yeah. Our younger selves have had today. If only they knew. The wild things. I would be curious to know if any misfits have some interesting, my younger self would absolutely lose it. So maybe text us, send that in. We'll put up a question box on Instagram to collect yours. Make sure you're also following along on Instagram at Elena Davies, at MiscELENAeous Podcast. Make sure you're subscribed and listening wherever you get your podcast. Buy some merch. Rate, review, subscribe, and stay the fuck tuned. I'll see you next Tuesday.
Yay Networks.